Okay, so today we've got quite a few projects we want to try and do. We've got a checkers pieces that we would like to try and get done to go with the chessboard. We haven't finished the chessboard yet because the chess pieces are still arriving. I'm just going to bring this a bit closer to the screen so that we can do that there. I've got, this is a ghost holding a pumpkin. We're going to do that first. I've just mixing up some mother of pearl colour here. I've got some tea light candles, LED tea light candles that arrived, so I'd like to try and do that. And then I've just got some little whimsical sort of moulds here that we'll try out. And I've also got these, which are bottle opener moulds, so we're going to try that as well. So we've got quite a few projects that we'd like to try today. So on that note, I've already mixed the resin, so we might as well get started. Now the colours I'm going to be doing, I've got some nice new chameleon colours, so we're going to be trying those out. Because this is a ghost, we've started with mother of pearl looking sort of ones. You can see there, it's just got a lot of colours going through it. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to use some glitter as well, which I'm just not sure. I think I will in the candle holder and the whimsical thing, but I don't think I will in the ghost. So let's start by pouring this into here. So we're just going to make sure it's all nicely mixed in and start pouring. I'm just going to check if there's any fine areas that might need a bit of squishing in. No, because he's got a domed head, so I don't see any areas there that are going to need to make sure that we get the resin exactly in, squished in, etc. So we should be right, just fully pouring. Yeah. So we're just going to get all of this out of here. So just get all that as much as we can, because this looks like it's going to be a bit just not quite enough. Yep, just not quite enough. So we're going to have to mix up a little bit more. That's a bit of a wobbly mould, so we're going to put that in place over there just so that we don't have to move it again, hopefully. Actually, I might move it off to the side completely before I fill it right up, and then can't move it very easily at all. So what we might do is take this here. Sorry about this. I just think we should have an area, because we're going to get more and more things on this levelling board. We're not going to want to knock it over, so I'm just going to put this down over here, make sure that's not underneath, make sure it's all flattened out, and up there. Now I've got quite a few moulds I'm going to be wanting to do in the future, but I just need to see how we go with time. Luckily I've had a whole lot more resin arrive, so we're going to have enough resin to do it. We just need to see about time. Okay, we want our little mother of pearl colour here. Just a little. The thing I like about these mica powders is the containers look really small, but you use the smallest of amounts, so they're going to last a wee while. I mean, by the look of the container, if it was sort of like a paint pot or something, you'd think, oh, this is only going to last me sort of like about 2 or 3 projects, but it's not, because you only use the tiniest amount. I mean, you can see the scoop is very, very small, and we don't even use a full scoop on that. We only use about a half scoop, so just make sure we've got all that colour off. You can see on the stick there's a bit that wasn't mixed in. Let's mix that in. I'm just going to lean over that way and just get all of what's in the pot out of the pot as much as we can. There we go. Just over there. And wrap our stick with our baby wipe. Wipe around the lip of our pot and just pop that over to the side there. Okay, so what do I want to do next? Now, I only have a little bit of resin, I think, in here. So what I might do is grab my, sorry, I have to lean over, grab my gold, and I'm going to do the checkers. So we're just going to get a little scoop of gold, maybe a full scoop, because we want the colour quite opaque. We don't want it too see-through, because these are our checker pieces. So get our stick and we give it another mix. So getting all that powder in, up around the sides. I think I've got this cup inside out, that's okay. And just making sure to get that all mixed in. Right, and now we want to get it all up our stick. Okay, let's see how we go. There's some bubbles in there, but they'll come out. That's a bit close. Yep. Oop. It's getting getting there. Right, looks like we might be going to be short by one piece, but that's okay, because we can make another piece later on when we get leftover from something else. Just try and see. I'm fairly sure we're not going to get enough out of this, to fill that one there, so we might as well just top some of these off. Right, so we just need to let those set. So I'm just going to move that up to there. Again, I wonder if we put it off to the side. Now I'm going to need to mix up some more resin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on pause, and I'm going to go off and I'm going to mix up some more resin to make the tea light candle. Some of the bottle openers, I'm going to add glitter into the bottle opener ones, so we'll be able to see how those go. But for now, I will put you on hold and I will go and mix up some more resin. Okay, we'll be back shortly. Okay, so we've got about 3 and a bit cups. We haven't got them equally full, we've just got a bit of mix going on. We might try the candle holder first. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some pearlescent mica powder. We're going to have to open this up because we haven't opened these yet, so sorry about that. I should have done this prior to starting the recording, but there we go. There's the pearlescent mica powder there. So I'm just going to grab a wet wipe, sorry, just a moment. Just grab that. Just going to clear off my little dotting tool there. I'm just scoot it there, just bring that over to here. Right, so now the other thing I need to do is I need to keep an eye on the things I've already made, just with regard to popping any bubbles with my long neck lighter, because you don't want to leave it too late and then the bubbles are set. Okay, so here's our blue. I'll just angle that there, and we're just going to mix that in, and you can see as the powder mixes into the resin changes colour. So you need to get up around those sides because you need to make sure you get all that powder, because otherwise if you don't, it's going to end up as powdery streaks in your project and you're not going to want that. So you need to make sure you mix all that in nicely. So this cup isn't that good, it's got ridges on the inside there, but that's okay, we can work with that. So you can see that beautiful pearly, metallic-y, it's supposed to be chameleon, but I'm not sure that it is, but I'm sure when it dries it might look a bit different. So we're just going to wipe the stick off the side. Okay, that gets rid of some of the mica powder that's still on the stick, and you can see there's still some mica powder there. Now it's going to take a while to try and actually mix that off, and so I'm just going to wipe the stick just so that I get all that unmixed mica powder off, and then we're just going to mix back in here, and that gives us, now you can see that this is going to be almost see-through. It's not a opaque colour. So what you could do is you can either add more mica powder to try and make it a bit more opaque, which I'm going to do. Another way is you could possibly add it to a resin colour, but I think you might lose the chameleon effect that way, so I'm not really happy to do that. I'd rather just sort of add more. Now this is the first time I've used these, so I'm not sure how opaque I'm going to be able to get it. So we're just going to accept this, whatever it is, and we'll see when it comes out, when it's all set and we turn it out tomorrow. We'll see what colour we've actually ended up with. Now we wanted to actually put some glitter, so you can see there it's not too bad. The glitter, of course, is going to make it a bit thicker in colour. So in order to add glitter, we need to add 1 drop of glue. And then I'm looking at, this is quite a heavy glitter flakes, so we're going to get a big spoon and we're just going to get a spoonful of this and just drop it into there. Okay, just seal up the bag again because I don't really need glitter flakes all over my table. And then we're just going to mix that in. So you can see that's certainly made it, well, the glue's made it thick, but you can see that the glitter has certainly made it a lot darker in colour. So now what we're going to do, I'm just going to put that there. I'm just going to, now this is actually quite a big mould, so I might need to add more now, having looked at it. Sorry, I'm really bad at not measuring my moulds for how much resin I need, but that's okay. We can add more. We've got lots of resin sitting here. So we're just going to put that there. I'm going to add some more. I think we'll add it from this one. Just actually we might need quite a bit more looking at that, which is fine. This is the first time doing these moulds, so this is probably more of a full cup of resin. I only had a quarter cup, so it might even just be a half cup, but it's certainly not not the amount I had in that cup, so that's for sure. Okay, so I'm thinking we're going to need still some more, so I have some more in here. So I'm just going to maybe do another half cup. Say about that. It doesn't matter too much. It's probably better to go over than under, because if you go over, you can always fill up other molds with colours. But it doesn't matter if you go under either, because you can always mix up some more. So okay, so just going to mix that in there. Okay, just get all that mica powder off the sides, mixed in, off the stick. Make sure we get it all up into the bottom of that cup. Okay, now I'm not sure on the glue of this, so I'm going to put another drop in just to be on the safe side, because I don't want to not have had enough and then all the glue in the bottom half sinks. Oh, sorry, all the glue, all the glitter in the bottom half sinks. So we're just going to add another drop, because it wasn't gloopy when I was mixing it, so my technical term. So the glue wasn't obviously enough, so we're just going to do that. And then we're just going to mix that in. Oh yeah, look at that gloop. Okay, let's give this a go. Wow, it still looks like it needs more. This is a very heavy mold. suppose it is quite a solid base there, so another mix. Just not sure how much we can get out of this, so we'll give it a try. I'd have to use all my resin. Should mean I'll have to go and open up another lot of new resin, so that's fine. I'll just have to do that, I suppose. Because this is actually taking a lot. Just pop that. A lot of resin. So the advantage here is that because I've had to mix it up into 3 lots, the advantage to this is I haven't done a fast pour. Because it is so deep, you certainly wouldn't want to pour it all at once, because that would just be like too much resin all at once, and it would just it has the chance of fast curing. It still might. I can only hope that, well, with the glue and everything else, it's going to cause it to not be too bad, but one doesn't know. So I'm just going to hope that we're going to get enough out of this to get this finished. Yep, it looks like it should be right. Okay, I am going to just go with that at this stage. That's as much as I'm going to get out of it anyway, so we'll see how that turns out when we demold it. Just going to move that, if we can, as best we can, up into there. Right, so we have a little bit of resin left in there. I'm wondering if we'd be able to get at least the guitar done. Give it a try. I think we might do it in this goldy sort of colour. So we're just going to have to take that off there. Okay. So there's the sort of colour I'm looking at putting into this one. Just going to give a bit of a clean up there. Clear that off a bit. Now, I'm just not sure about whether we do any stuff into this one. I'm just going to grab a new stirrer. So I've got a number of things here. I've got some fine glass beads. I'm wondering if I could put those in there. Or I've actually got some fine stones, which I think I might put those in. We'll see how that goes. Except I'm wondering if we should have done... Yeah, we shouldn't have done a colour if we were going to use the stones, I think. So what we might do is do a pour. We can always put the stones in the back of it with a clear resin. So let's... Well, this might be full anyway, so we can do it on another one. We've got a lot of these bottle openers to do, so we can certainly do it on another one. Okay, so we'll just try and get all of that into there. Right, so we're going to go off, we're going to clean up some of these containers, and we're just going to put some more, mix up some more resin, and maybe do some more of these bottle openers and some of those animals. So we'll go off and mix up some resin now. Okay, so we've mixed up some more resin. We've mixed up quite a bit more resin. I've used this pigment colour here. Sorry, not that one, that one. The reddy colour. And we're mixing it into the resin here. I'm going to make it into the reindeer, which is here. We're going to do some more, of course, bottle openers. So we just need to quickly go through because we don't want the resin to set. So we'll just have a look. This sort of looks... trying to see the colour. Sort of a reddy purple, perhaps. Again, it's one of those ones where we're not going to really tell until we turn it out the next day, so stay tuned for more. But for now, we just need to get these mixed in before the resin starts to set. So I'm just going to put that over there. So I'm just going to pour this in here, do it up to about there. I'm just going to look at what we've got. Oops. So we've got some little antlers in here, so we just want to press. See there, you can see the antlers and there isn't resin, so you just want to make sure you're press that in to get the resin into there and also to get any air bubbles out. We've got some little ears there, so again we just want to press. Okay, just tap it down, pour in some more, tap down, and just making sure you're getting all that resin down into the very bottom. and also getting any air bottle bubbles that might be trapped down in that bottom area, getting them out. So we just need to top this off. Okay, so we just stop it there. Now we just need to make sure he's got a little tail there, so I'm just trying to get that and some little arms there and get those. Right, so just might have filled that a bit too much, so I'm just going to take a small portion off just to make sure it's just find my okay, so we'll just get a wet wipe that's stuck to the other wet wipe. Ooh, I'm not sure about the standing of that one. So he sort of doesn't stand very nicely, so I'm scared that he's going to topple over. So what I might do is look at what I've got going on here. Get a cup, I think, and sit him in that. So in the interim, we're just going to try and sit him over there. Oh, actually, we could lean him up against the. What's going on there? He tends to lean that way, so we'll just lean him against the back there a bit, just to make sure that he's not going to tip over, because I am a little worried about him. Okay, so we're going to pour the rest of this into the pour. Just hold that up there. Get our scoop. Just going to clean that up a bit. Right, now I'm just going to scoop all that out and into there. Oops. Just make sure we're getting all of that out. Excuse me. Okay, I will be back in just a sec. Right, so we've now got this greeny blue colour that we're mixing into some resin. So we're going to make a bottle opener, and we're going to pour it into one of the character molds. Now there is a unicorny sort of thing there, so what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to pour mixed colours. So when I've got a little bit left over from the green, and then if I get another colour, and so we can make it sort of like hopefully, we don't know, but hopefully it'll come out like a rainbowed unicorn, but we'll have to wait and see. Now I think I'm going to have a greeny blue rabbit, and I think I'm going to have a greeny blue bottle for a start. Let's get some of this excess out by doing the bottle first. Just let that even itself out a bit. Okay, just mix that around a bit more, and we may not have any left over, but that's fine. You can make do. Right, so just checking his ears, probably the pinch points there. You can see it's not all the way into that one, so I just want to pinch. So 2 reasons for this. One is we're trying to get the ear out, and 2, we're trying to get the resin in. Okay, so we're just going to pour some more resin in. Oh yes, we're just going to have enough. But we're not going to have spare to put into the unicorn, but that's fine. I might do a 5-colour mix pot on that at some stage. Maybe not today, but I think that would be quite a neat thing to do with the unicorn, just to make it lots of different colours. Sorry, I'll just try and get all this out of here. Just trying to get into his feet there as best I can. Okay, I'm just going to line that up on there. Right, so that's another one done. So that means we've got another colour here, and we are going to do that. What colour will do that? We've got, they're very similar, but and that. So we will go with this one. Sorry, I just knocked that over. Okay. That. Just clean that off. Put that over there. Right. And mix this in. There's a lot of brownie tones I'm noticing from these chameleon colours, which is fine. I mean, I just wanted to see what they were, so I don't mind brown, so it's fine to have lots of brownie colours. So especially since that we're going to be doing the dog, he's going to suit a brownie colour. So I'll just clean the stick again, make sure we get all that powder off. Yep. And then just let it mix in, and then start pouring into the dog. I'm going to pour his head, and then I'm going to check. Right, so we've got some ears in there that need his nose and mouth. Not too much, I think. I think he's pretty much okay. So then we're just going to pour him to the top. Off. Yep. There we go. Pop him over there and let him sit. Now let's see, will we have enough? Ooh, that's stuck onto there. And we'll just see if we've got enough to do maybe this one. No, tough choice. Yes, we're going to do this one. I still have more resin, so if we don't have enough, we can just make this sort of 2 colours and put some more resin in from another one. So I'm just going to clear that off there, get that into there. Now, these pop sticks that I'm using in this one, they came in a pack of something, and they're actually not lasting too well. So I'm just going to throw that away. I really don't need bits of wood in my resin. So just keep an eye on that. Some of them you can just wipe and reuse, but some of them the wood starts to degrade a bit. If that happens, just throw them away. It's not worth it. They're not that dear. Just throw it away, get another one, and use that. So I'll just push that around there. Okay. Get all the nice little bits out, because we're going to have to make this up of another colour. Right, so just give that a bit of a clean. In this pot here, we've got a little bit of resin left. So let's see, we will have a similar colour, but not the same colour. I'm just going to break that open, drop it there, get our scoop, scoop it in. Okay, sorry, just put the lid back on there. Just going to give a new pop stick. I just prefer the popsicle sticks for getting the stuff out of the mould. Like, even if I stir with a different stick, I just prefer this. Seems to just get the stuff up off the sides real easily. So just mix that into there. Very similar to the colour that's in there. Just getting it all mixed in. Okay, so let's give it a pour. So I'm just gonna, you can see it's very similar. Just top that off. Let that settle. It's going around there. Right, well, we have enough to fill the elephant. Oh, not just yet, we won't. Because we've got a bit of cat fur in the elephant, which we don't want. Okay, let's see how we go. So again, we're just going to fill the head up. Just to about there. And then we're going to poke in and just get those ears done, like so. Get out of the way. Just pinch the trunk. So we're going to want to make sure we get all his trunk with resin in. It wouldn't be good to have a elephant with only half a trunk. Okay, so pouring the rest in. I'm just going to get most of the popsicle stick. Get all that down into there. Probably should have put this into a smaller container, but it was in this and I didn't really want to have to fiddle around with more containers, so whoops. But it is more difficult with the larger container to then get all your resin out without getting it all over the place. So I might use this and just Get that down there. Right. Looks like I don't want to really try and scoop this too much. It seems to be as much as I'm going to get. So I might just make up a little bit more resin to finish that off. Just that off there. And maybe do another finish off the bottle openers as well. So I'm going to just go off and mix up some more resin, and we will be back in a moment to finish off the bottle openers and to do the top up the elephant. Okay, so I just decided to make sort of a blacky purple one, so we're just going to go over. I just topped up the star, just go over these. So I've added the blacky purple into the elephant, so it'll be interesting to see how he comes out. But otherwise, that's it for now. We will demold tomorrow morning and you'll see what they look like then. Thank you. See you then. Good morning all. So it's the next morning, so we've got our finished projects to turn out. We've got the ones that have actually finished. So we've got the little animals, we've got the bunny rabbit here. We've got the ghost. I just painted the pumpkin and his eyes, just so that he stands out a bit better. I've got the reindeer. So I'm not sure if you can see the colours. They sort of change colours slightly. The puppy dog. So not really chameleon. The colours I had, they said they were chameleon, but I think they're not. They're actually more just a metallic, which is fine. I mean, I don't mind that, but they're certainly not what I would consider chameleon colours. And this is our little tea light. Well, it's not so little. You can see it's quite heavy, which is good. It means it's not going to fall over. And then just, that's our little tea light there, and it changes colour. And so then you can just pop it there on a table somewhere. So now we're going to turn out our little checker pieces. So that's just them there. I'll just see if we can bring that into focus a bit better. You can see that it's just spiraled, and there are some here somewhere, if I can find them. There we go, that have a little crown on. So when you get your piece to the other end and you can do crown me, you can just pop that piece on top. So I'll need to make another black set of that to go with the chess set at some stage. I'll just pop all those there. Now we've got our bottle openers. So let's have a look here. I'm just gonna try demolding this. And there we go. That is the guitar bottle opener. So there's actually engraving bits on there. So I might actually, I'll try to bring it closer, you can see. I might actually put a bit of paint on that. And what I'll do is I will put the metal pieces in. Oh, it's still a bit bendy, but it'll set over. So what I'll do is I'll just flatten it back down. So there's the paw shaped one. That's the one that's got quite a lot of detail on that one. So I might put a little bit of paint on that, I'm not sure. I mean, I can, and if it doesn't, if it looks too much, I can always just make another one at some stage. So there's the bottle shape, and there's just a general shape, which would be good to put magnets on and have sort of that or the bottle shape on the fridge. Okay, so let me just go and get the pieces to put in these to make these bottle openers, and I will be back shortly. Okay, so I've found all the bits. So you've just got the metal plate, it just sits in there. Now these have some little tiny holes that have come from the molds. You just have to get the screw and then find the little hole, and then you just need to screw as best you can. These bits in. Now I need a bigger screwdriver, this one's too small, so I will go and get a bigger screwdriver and be back in a sec. Okay, this one's a bit better, so we just basically, there we go, have to push in and screw them around because you've only got that little hole, so you're actually screwing into the resin. There we go. You want to get it fairly tight. The reason for that is that this is you are going to be using this to pull bottles, so you don't want your screws to be popping out. So there we go, and that is a bottle opener. So I'm going to screw these other ones up, and I'm going to make some more projects. I quite like this here, so I might make another one. Whether I make it today, I'm not sure. I quite like this flower one, and I am thinking of putting stones in, so I might do that. And then I've got lots of Christmassy molds. Now, as we're in November, Christmas is just around the corner, so I might be making a snowman and some other bits and pieces. So that will be in my next video. So if you could please like and subscribe, and if you want to be notified of when I put new videos up, then if you can hit the bell icon and press all, that would be great. And until next time, have a good day. Bye.